Hi, I'm Krystle. I've loved dolls since I was a child, and I never outgrew it. So, when I discovered Reborn dolls, my collection started to grow. There's Haley, Landon, Avery, Chloe, Shiloh, Grace, Jamie, Jeremy, Maya, Yuki, Savannah, and Ava. Along with collecting, I've been a Reborn artist since 2008. It isn't easy keeping up with my collection, but it sure is a lot of fun. Hey guys, so this is a little bit of a follow-up to my last video where I gave you some tips on traveling with your Reborn doll. There was a couple of things that I kind of thought of after that I forgot to include, and some people asked a couple of questions that I had never actually thought about including in the video, so this is kind of like a little follow-up with some more tips, mainly focused on flying with your Reborn doll. And there's not much, so this is going to be a really quick video. So one thing I forgot to mention is that if you do have a stroller with you, you will most likely get to board the plane before everyone else. It is a little bit of a perk. It's happened to me a few times because they usually will announce anyone with wheelchairs or strollers, please come and you can board the plane first. And it's pretty cool. Especially for me, because I can be a little bit slow moving when I'm carrying stuff because of it being heavy and my joints hurting or whatever. So for me, it was nice to be able to have the extra time to go and fold up my stroller and check it at the gate and get into my seat before anyone else, and I wasn't having to hold up anyone else while I was putting my stuff in the overhead thing. It was just a nice perk. The other thing is that if you are carrying the doll in your arms, most likely the flight attendant will ask you if it's a real baby or not, but even if they don't, you should make sure to tell them that it is a doll, it's not a real baby, because the last time I flew, actually, they came up and asked me and they were like, okay, we just wanted to make sure it was a doll, because if it was a real infant, then you have to be sitting like in a certain section of the plane, in a specific seat if you have an infant. It has to do with safety reasons and if you have to evacuate the plane kind of thing. So you definitely have to make sure that you tell them. Also, magnets. Someone was wondering if magnets are an issue. Definitely not. Magnets have never been an issue for me. I've had lots of dolls that have magnets in their head. I've put their magnetic pacifiers in my carry-on bag with no issues at all. And then the last thing was someone was asking what time to arrive at the airport before your flight. You really don't need to be there any earlier than anyone else. Like, just because you have a doll, it generally doesn't add more time to going through security. The only thing is, like I said, they might take your doll out and swab it, which could take a couple of extra minutes. So if you want to play it safe and get there an extra 50 minutes earlier than you normally would if you weren't traveling with the doll, just to play it safe, that would be fine. But usually it's just whatever the standard guideline is, which is like, you know, if you're flying domestically, I think they generally say like an hour and a half or something before your flight. But for me, like, I'm usually flying out of Canada, so I usually have to be at the airport. They suggest, I think, 2 hours or 2.5 hours before your flight leaves. I think I usually do 2 hours before my flight leaves, and I've never had an issue. So yeah, I would just basically, if this is your first time flying anywhere, then just check with the airline or the airport. They should have somewhere where they suggest how long before your flight leaves should you get to the airport to allow for time, because like especially if you're leaving the country, you'll have to go through customs and the security check and check your bag and things like that. So other than that, that's it. I think I've pretty much covered everything now. So I hope you guys enjoyed these bonus travel tips for flying with your Reborn, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. So a changing video with Savannah, and I figured I would change her because she didn't get changed at Valentine's Day like all the other babies, and she's been in this outfit for quite a while. So
I thought I would give her a little change. She is so cute. I love her so much. I look at her every day pretty much and just smile because